Hey everybody, welcome to day 2 of the expo. Today we're going to be looking at Aegis ships. And I'm just going to run to get up to the showroom floor here because this is an impressive sight. So I'm just going to stop for a second. Oops, let's take this off. I'm going to take a look at the site map and show you where we're going to be going. So Aegis has got a ton of ships, so they've got a little bit of something everywhere. So we got our work cut out for us. Oh, look at the reclaimer. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Aegis, that manufacturer mainly did the militaristic ships, and they used to hold an exclusive contract with the UAE. That was until they were replaced by Anvil. And now they've kind of moved on and started doing industrial ships. And this right here is the reclaimer. Now, this is a very, very impressive looking ship. And you have to see it from this kind of perspective to really appreciate it. When you see it flying around in space, you just don't get that sense of scale that you get when you're doing something like this. And it's not surprising that this has been the centerpiece that Aegis has used for the expo for years. I think ever since they've had an expo, they've been using this ship as their centerpiece, and you can really see why. Oh my god, well, we're going to be walking underneath this ship more than a few times. I don't think I'm going to be running around inside of it because I have plenty of walkthroughs if you want to check it out. I think most people have seen this ship by now. It's been out for quite a while. It doesn't really hold any mysteries. They haven't changed the inside of it at all. And I heard a little rumor they might be doing some massive interior work to it, but you didn't hear that from me. Okay, Saber Comet. I was hoping to look at the Saber first. This is the variant on the Saber. Saber Comet, I believe the Comet went back to the days when they were doing the Master of Flight series, and it's basically the same ship with just a different loadout and a different livery. Oh, and here we go. This is the Saber over here. My god. I'm hard-pressed to think of a ship that's gone through more changes than the Saber has. Because I remember when it first got introduced into the verse, and this ship was unbeatable. And I mean that. It was literally unbeatable. Like, it had a bug in the system where its shields regenerated faster than you can knock them down, so like the only thing that could beat it would be another Saber. Okay, from here, debating whether to go downstairs or start hitting the halls. I think we're going to go downstairs first. Let's just check to see what they have to offer. I want to race my way down there. Olé! Not a lot of people. I'm kind of shocked. Okay, Firebird. This is an interesting, an interesting display for it. It's nice. I think the other side would probably be the Peregrine.
Gathering the latest and greatest from manufacturers across the empire. The Intergalactic
Yeah.
Aerospace Expo is where spaceship enthusiasts come to take flight.
I'm just a little curious to see what the kiosk has to say about it here. Interesting. Okay. Okay, let's hit the display halls. And I kind of hope you don't mind that I'm not jumping into the cockpit of every one of these ships, because, I mean, there's not really much to see. They're just carbon copies, basically, of the sister ship that they're all based on. Excuse me. Oh, the Idris. So, if they were ever going to replace a ship with the Reclaimer, then it would be the Idris. I'm a little shocked, actually, too, that they didn't put this in the main hall. I mean, obviously, they're doing a holo viewer because of size-wise. Because if you can't put it in the main hall, I mean, where else are you going to put it? This thing is gigantic. I think I know why they didn't put it out there. Because if they put it out there, then everyone would want to rent it. And if you couldn't rent it, everyone would be screaming at them because of that. I think that's why they did that move. And this is, let's refresh my memory, the Vulcan. Repair, refuel, and rearm ship. Outfitted with drone technology. This is going to be a very interesting ship when it finally gets released. I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. Actually, my entire fleet's looking forward to seeing it in action. Because we desperately need support ships in the game. That and the Crucible are the two support ships I'm really looking forward to the most. This is the Nautilus, I believe. Let's go over to the kiosk here. Nautilus. Yeah. Yet another interesting ship because it lays mines, and that's a whole area of gameplay that we haven't really delved into yet. A lot of possibilities, a lot of things could go right, a lot of things could go wrong. We're just gonna have to see. There's gonna be a lot of dialing in involved. Excuse me. There's gonna be a lot of dialing in that's involved with this ship when they put it out. I guarantee that. Okay, I think that's it here. That's all we really see in these in the coming soon section. So let's start hitting some of these rooms. I think the best way to do this is just pick one that's adjacent to... What the heck is going on there? Okay. And I was just about to make a comment on how not derpy the crowd was being this time around. I think I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time to see that. Okay, you guys. No more energy drinks for you. All right, let's get up here. Man, look at that. Look how impressive that is. I'm sorry if I'm going to be running into people while I do this, because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. And I definitely can't walk back by this ship and not look at it. Man. Okay, left or right? Hull 3 or Hull 4? I'm thinking Hull 4. Got a good feeling about Hull 4. Oh, you know what? Let's just take a look over here. I want to see what they have to offer. I might need another energy drink. Hey, it's up. And the difference between the last walkthrough that I did and this one, I took the announcer's voice and I turned it down considerably because I felt like I was just in competition with that guy the entire time when I was talking. As a matter of fact, every time he cut in, I stopped talking instinctively because it was so loud over my headphones. I felt like we were fighting for bandwidth the entire time. So I cranked his voice down considerably. All right, so what do we got here? Oh, the Retaliator and the Eclipse. Oh, Eclipse. God. How many times have you blown me up in the verse? I think I've lost count at this point. Oh, if Star Citizen had a kill counter, oh, it would be a depressing thing to look at. I mean, this is the torpedo ship for the single pilot. I mean, seriously. You can't really do better. It just looks impressive. Even just standing there, the thing looks mean. Okay, the Retaliator too. Let's take a look at you. This is one of those ships that over the years I really regretted not getting when I had the chance. And although the state of insurance is changing considerably, and I think they're still working on how it's going to finally function in the verse, you still want to have something with LTI. Like, if you can get the chance to get it, it is not worthless. It is not pointless. It's definitely something that's going to be helping you in the long run, and it's going to be really helping to alleviate a lot of costs that you're going to be paying if you own a lot of ships, essentially. Okay, so let's see if I can remember how to get in here. There we go. It's been a while, so be kind. I haven't been in this ship in probably a couple of years. Actually, I take that back. I went into it once just to check out the rework that they did. So they did some changes to the interior. They got rid of one of the lifts, and they put in a docking collar over here. See if I can close this up. Yeah. That was a good change. This ship really needed that. You know, it doesn't need 2 elevator lifts. And what is this? Okay, so it's got the cargo module installed in this one. And for people who normally are used to this ship, this is where the torpedo room would have been. So let's see what the other module has. Probably another cargo deck. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Now, that doesn't look like a place to store cargo as much as this looks like a prison for animals. It's weird looking. All right, interesting. That's all I really wanted to see in here. Those are the major changes that they've done to this. And of course, I'm going to go the wrong way, because I always do. That's the back of the ship. I want to go towards the middle of the ship. There we go. Let's get out of here. All right, let's check out what hull number we're in. Good ship. Now, this is obviously the bomber room. Or I should say torpedo ship room, because we have bombers in the game and there's something completely different. Even though they do technically call these bombers, they really need to change that. Let's take a look here. I just want to see what this says. And of course, for anybody who didn't know, you can walk over to one of these little displays, hold F. That's how you rent it. And the rental should be good for about 2 days. But the thing I really like about that ship, the Retaliator, the pilot can shoot the torpedoes. And once you go a step higher than this ship, you no longer have access to that level of convenience. I'm not going to say that's a purposeful move, but, you know, I'm not going to not say it either. Okay, let's just take a look at this. I want to see where we're going. Retaliator bomber. Okay, so hull 4. I think we want to go to hull 5 and then go to hull 2. All right, so hull 5. We're in hull 1. You know what? I'm going to slow down here for a little bit and just take a walk through here. Now, on the last walkthrough, at the very end of it, I ran past this hull. And although I did take a look at it, I think it bears taking another look, just to be honestly. And there's another one that's a cargo kind of display that's just like, or very similar to this, that I also want to do this too. I figure just walking through it slowly once won't it won't do anybody harm. Oh, that sentence did not come out.
Due to heightened security measures in the Stanton system, Microtech Protection Services are asking all guests.
And I saw that hull 5 is behind me. I'll get to that in a second.
If you see anything of concern, please alert.
That's a good little walkthrough.
As soon as possible. Thank you.
And I am using the Tobii Eye Tracker right now. I absolutely love this thing, and no, I am not being sponsored by them. But, you know, if they want to, you know, give me a ring. I absolutely love the Tobii Eye Tracker. It's a completely different experience when you're using it. The only thing that you got to get used to is, like, I'm used to using the mouse to look around, and you can also use the, you know, the head tracker, obviously, to look around and get a different point of focus. And if you're not used to that, those two things can fight each other. So sometimes when you see the angle of the camera jerking around, that's what's going on. My mouse and my head are not talking to each other. Okay, the whole Vanguard series is here. It's kind of funny how these are supposed to be heavy fighters. I've always looked at these as like heavy fighters. Because, you know, the Lightning's a heavy fighter. The Scorpius is a heavy fighter. The Hurricane's a heavy fighter. This thing definitely feels like a size... Well, not an entirely size bigger. I'm sorry, I just saw some flickering that caught my attention. But it definitely seems to be in kind of like a very small jump up category away from them. Like, I guess the next category up. I don't necessarily say I would call it a medium, but to me it seems like a large, small, or a, I was going to say a small, medium, but that doesn't really make any sense. And I wanted to go into here because it looks like they changed this a little bit. It's been a long time since I've been in the inside of this. And I kind of remember this looking a little different. Same kind of like off blue colored lighting, but I remember these displays looking very different. I want to go back into some of my old footage of the ship and see if it is or not. Because like I said, it has been a long time since I've been inside one of these, so. And the other one that I found that, well, that I remember having a very different interior was the hoplite. I might just pop in these. Oh, what the heck? See if I can tell what it, which variant it is just by looking at the interior. Let's just do a quick walkthrough. Warden, okay. Yeah, I often get the Warden and the Harbinger confused. That's why I didn't want to say anything until I actually could take a look at the kiosk there. I keep calling it a kiosk. It's a little sign. And I don't know if I'd call this a torpedo variant, but it's a heavy missile variant. Okay, let's get into this guy here. I believe this is the hoplite. This is the dropship variant. There we go. You gotta line up just right to get the ramp access. Ugh. Oh, that gap. This is neat. So the Valkyrie is the ship that replaced this one for Squadron 42 because they just needed something that could carry a lot more people. But I always looked at this as the the special ops ship. You know, it's going to bring in the small group of highly trained operatives to jump behind enemy lines and to go infiltrate some like ground location. I believe that's everything here. Okay, so this is Hall 5, and I believe we're going to be moving on to Hall 4 next. Let's see which way we're going. I thought we'd be leaving to the left, but we might be going across the showroom floor to the other side, which is actually, I think that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, let's get off that scene. Let's get off of that camera angle so people don't realize just how poorly in shape my character is. I'm constantly in threat of having a heart attack after running 5 feet. Jeez, Law of the West, get on a treadmill.
This is a friendly reminder that the Tobin Expo Center is a shared space. Please be mindful of other guests during your visit so that we can all enjoy this day together.
Just gonna take a quick look. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, that's okay. That's what people do. Wow. Okay. So we still have those to see. We've got the Redeemer and the Titans, the Gladius, and the Hammerhead. Yeah, so we have to go across. Across to... let's go Hall 2. That's okay. It gives me a chance to look at the Reclaimer again. I mean, if you really want to appreciate how big this ship is, land it at an outpost.
Many of the vehicles on display at this year's IAE are
It doesn't land around an outpost, it lands around the outpost. Man.
gathering the latest and greatest from manufacturers across the Empire. The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is where spaceship enthusiasts come to take flight.
Yeah, that guy's voice is much more tolerable to take now. Like I said before, it was booming in my ear. I think I had it set at 40% too. Okay, here's the cargo deck area, little display.
Attention visitors. Intergalactic Air
I don't think I gave this a proper look over last time.
hydrated while exploring the exhibits on display. Convenience, a selection of beverages, tasty snacks,
These little tractor beams. Oh my god, I want one of these models. I want this in my hangar. Look at that. I definitely want to come back here later on and get some B-roll footage.
friendly reminder that the
Stuff like
Tobin
this is
Expo
really good to
Center
play in the
is a
background if
shared
you're ever doing a
space.
video about just like
Please be mindful of
cargo
other guests
hauling, or
during
the other one that's
visits so that we
about
can all enjoy
mining.
this day together.
Sometimes you need a little something just to fill the in-between spots. And stuff like this really does scratch that itch. I don't know what the timestamp is so far. Like, I don't know how long I've been recording for, but I need to take a look at that in a second.
All guests to be extra vigilant when it comes to
I did want to try and keep these down to a certain time, like a certain time limit.
Thank you.
'Cause I noticed once you exceed that, people tend to not really want to keep watching. Oh, here we go, the Gladius. If you're looking for a light fighter and you don't know what to get, the Gladius is a great, well-rounded one. As a matter of fact, I think it's the most well-rounded light fighter in the game. In Squadron 42. That might have something to do with it. I also got to figure if you don't know what you want out of a light fighter, you're going to want a well-rounded one. Now, the Valiant is another, if I'm remembering this correctly, was another Master of Flight series. And it's essentially the same as a Gladius. Little different livery, different loadout. I think it's supposed to be more centered for PvP. Excuse me, that did not come out. It's more centered for PvP. Wow, I think my tongue's just getting lazy. And of course we got the Hammerhead. I don't really know what to say about the Hammerhead. This is going to be a great companion piece to the Perseus when that comes out. And the Hammerhead is one of those ships that they just got it right when they first released it, so they haven't had to really do anything to it since. And the only downside to it is you need a bunch of people to actually fully utilize its capabilities. And if you don't have that, you've got nothing. Like, you're not going to fly around and solo anything with this ship. I think you have all you have access to is a bunch of size 3 missiles. But man, if you have a group of people flying with you, that thing shreds. Okay, let's see which direction we're going in here. We're going to the Hall with the Redeemer, Hall 2. Okay, so it looks like we're going right. And this is the last hall. This is it for today. Yeah, Aegis has a lot of ships, but the other manufacturers are catching up to them slowly. All right, Hall 3. There goes the Hall 2. That's where we want to go.
Please be mindful of other guests during your visit so that we can all enjoy this day together.
Now, here we go. So where's the Avenger Titan? That's the only one I really have anything to say about. Because I was making a video that was a compilation of all the starter ships, and I was holding off when I heard the Crusader was coming out with the Intrepid. Excuse me. And I wanted to see how that ship handled what it was like before I actually made that video, because I didn't want to make that video and then have to do it again after they came out with another starter ship. And you know, it's really funny. Even after that, after all this time, the Titan, in my opinion, is still the best starter ship. Like, that would be my advice to anybody who's looking to get a starter ship. Oh, this is the EMP variant. And yet another Masters of Flight series. Over here. This was the Renegade. I'm going to get to the Redeemer in a second, but I want to finish up this little tirade about the Titan. I just want to get over to it. Yeah, it's funny. So the Titan was always the measuring stick that I would put up against any new starter ship that they came out with. And the Titan still keeps holding up. Like, so going back to what I was saying before about my advice to anybody would be either get the Mustang Alpha or the Aurora MR. You know, get in as cheap as you can and then earn the other ships you want to get in game. As a matter of fact, if you even wanted to get another starter ship, I would use the Aurora or the Mustang to get the starter ship that you wanted and then start, you know, earning money from that point on. And if you didn't want to do that, then go for the Titan. It's the only other choice I would make. Still comes highly recommended. It's really good on combat, light on amenities, but amenities aren't really that important. And for right now, the only one you would actually want is a bed, and the Titan comes with a bed. Just, you know, let's walk in here really quickly because I'm talking about it so much. Can carry 8 SEUs of cargo. This space is really nice because it's big enough that you could carry a small Gravlev. Some of the small wheeled vehicles as well. Here's the bed over here. Someone was talking about this ship going through a gold standard, and I don't think this is going to change at all. They've already gone through a major rework of this ship. I don't think it's going to go through another one. And what gold standard usually means is that they just make it so all the components are accessible and physicalized. And it's going to get an engineering station in the back here somewhere. Probably like over here on one of these walls, but this is supposed to be interior access to components over here. And I love the fact you can get out directly from the flight deck, directly outside, or you can turn around and come in here. So you have 2 points that you can get in and out of the ship from. Its weapon system is amazing for the price tag. You know, I believe these are 2 size 3s over here and a size 4 on the nose. 4 size 2 missiles, I think. Don't quote me on that. That's just off the top of my head. Just looks cool. You know, very little has changed about this since the early days when they put this ship into the game. I don't necessarily know if it's a legacy ship, but it is from very early on. And the only thing that they changed about it wasn't how the exterior looked, they just changed the size. Like, it's just, I think it increased by like a third. Oh, and the Redeemer. Oh. What do I say about you? I'm still holding on to mine. Ever since they made the change to it, it flies a lot better. And it's kind of funny, just looking at it, that bottom turret looks a lot more correct with the size 4 guns on it. When I had the size 5s, it was just ridiculously long. They looked like they were going to continuously clipping, they were in danger of clipping into the nose turret, or that chin turret it had right in front of it. I still don't like what they did to the top turret. I wish those were still size 5s. Didn't need the full nerf. I'm just saying that. Just a little nerf is okay. Got hit with a John Crew Nerf gun. Man, that's about it. That's all the rooms. That's the showroom floor. The downstairs areas as well. That's about everything. Well, I think that's going to be it for this walkthrough for day 2, Aegis. I've been your host, Law of the West. Thanks for watching, and take care.